Hey ladies and gents, we are back with some Avorion. And what we're going to do is talk about raiding in hazard zones, what that's did to the game. It's one of my least favorite things they've changed about this game, right up alongside of headhunters, why those things are still allowed to do what they do. But raiding has changed quite a bit. Now, some of you probably watch tips how to make money, and raiding was my real first way you can make a big ton of money, right? And with the new hazard zones, it's kind of curtailed raiding. Personally, I think it's going to slow down early game, mid game, because you're not gonna have the money to really progress as fast as you could if you could raid or pirate or whatever you want to call it. Now, if you're unfamiliar with what a hazard zone is, it's a new game feature came out a little while ago that essentially, when you enter a system and you wanted to, say, for example, raid or pirate, you used to be able to take one of these big warships like this, which is, 1 million Omicron with 21 million shields and roughly 60,000 cargo. You used to be able to go into a system and just simply take everything, blow up ship after ship, collect all the resources from it, just literally make a mint off of raiding. Now, with the changes to the systems, when you jump into a system, it takes 2 to go, and it becomes what we call a hazard zone. So we're going to look at what this is right here. We have a system here where I don't really get along all that great, and we're going to show exactly what I'm talking about here. Before, I used to be able to simply just come in here in the system, fly up to these guys, to the enemy frigates. That's a dreadnought, apparently. And you used to be able to just blow up all of them, and then proceed to pillage the system here. So we're going to blow him up. And now we see, due to the turmoil, the sector has been called a hazard zone. Civilian ships, traders, and freighters will avoid this sector until peace has returned. So now, nothing will spawn here. Your NPCs, traders, and whatnot will no longer spawn in this system. So if you're going to raid, you pretty much just get stuck with what's here. Which is going to be, there's one freighter there. So there's going to be a whopping, there's one freighter. In the entire system, there's one freighter that I can pirate. Now, I'm not terribly sure, as far as I've been able to tell, how long this lasts. I'm typically figuring about an hour to 2 hours before the system returns to normal, which means NPCs start to regenerate. Now, which is all fine and dandy, but once again, one freighter, and then I have to wait a certain amount of time before I'm allowed to once again raid the system. Really, that kind of sucks. Like I said before, I used to just simply jump in here and take 20, 30 freighters, take all their stuff, and be on my happy way while making billions. Now, that doesn't happen. I get why they do it. I mean, guess honestly, if you're talking about for reality, this would make sense. If there's a pirate in the system, then of course there'd be no traffic coming into the system because it knows there's a pirate. My solution would be, if you want to keep the hazard system, but we also need something else. We could it'd be cool if we had, say, like the letter of marque back in the day that kings used to sign to private privateers that allowed them to pirate other nations with no, I guess you could call diplomatic recourse. Or it would be nice to develop some sort of jamming and stealth systems that you could simply add to your ship, which would be really sweet. As a pirate, you're going to be doing it stealthily as possible, not to bring focus to you. That would be awesome if they could add those systems to the game, where you could be once again back to raiding, but you have to be, a little smarter, a little more different, a little different gameplay, which would be awesome. And the current way they have it set up, it's just not worth the time or effort, really, to raid. However, I've been trying to work on some of this to get around the raiding, and I've yet to find a real significant way of doing it, other than the fact you have to do it in kind of a piecemeal. And I'll talk about here as we do this. We're going to jump out of system here, so I don't have to sit here and watch this shebang and get on our way. All right, we're going to jump out, then we're going to jump out. We're going to actually talk about the systems, exactly what I'm talking about here. So, this system here is now in hazard zone. There will be no more NPCs that are going to be there. I have not really, I shouldn't say found a way that around this. It still doesn't allow me to sit on systems and just simply farm freighters. In fact, now it seems to be a little bit more of a work. What you got to do is, say for example, this system right here that has 5 ships of the Democratic Alliance or whatever. You jump in there, blow those 5 ships up. As soon as those 5 ships are blown up, a fleet, well actually about probably halfway through the 5, a fleet will jump in and you have to blow them up. You blow up every ship that is a warship in that system. Then you leave the system. Let it go out of its hazard zone, which I think is between an hour and 2 hours, and then you can go back and raid it. Right now when you jump into that system and as soon as you blow up the first 2, you get hazard zoned. Once you get those knocked out, then when you jump back in the system, you're not going to get balled by the warships. It gives you free reign to jump around and actually get up next to the freighters and find out what they're carrying. And you have to be a little bit more selective of what you're going to raid with. Now, of course, there's 2 ways to do it. You can either blow up the cargo ship and take the stolen goods and you have to get them cleaned, or you can use boarding parties to do it. And I'm going to do a little bit of both here. And it's kind of changed the way I'm playing the raiding part of it. I'm not going to take these massive ships in here anymore. They're just not quick enough or fast enough. And they don't... and honestly, this thing is, with 1 million Omicron, an overkill for freighters. Before, where I just simply blew them up and then stole the stuff out of them. Yeah, it's just not going to work. I'd have to dumb this thing down way too much. And I still use this as a primary, as a warship, so that's not going to get used anymore. What I found is after you clean a few systems, and you have to be selective of the systems you want, right? So that, for example, this one's a research station. High-end products, you want to clean that system so you're able to raid it when you're ready to. Same way with a military outpost, mostly high-end stuff. Clean the ships out of it so you have the ability to go in and actually raid a little bit at a time. And the other system, of course, is mining systems. These are your really big chunks of change, right? They have a lot of mining, fusion cores, that kind of stuff. A lot of high-end stuff goes to these mines. So knowing that, it's easy to, when you go into system, you're most likely every freighter you're going to find is going to have some high-end stuff, so it makes it worth it, right? Worth it. So the problem is, I think these 2 right now are currently in hazard zoned. I'll have to check here. I do believe this one here is not in hazard zone. So if you go in, you take 1 ship from each system, so you could get up to possibly 4 here, and then you can repeat in a little while, say a half an hour, and go back and do it again. That way you're pretty guaranteed of not sending those systems into hazard zones, but it's still allowing yourself to do a little bit of raiding. So let's jump back down to here. And I worked on it. Took me, I don't know, I worked on this ship for about an hour. Something that was a little more attuned to what I was thinking about, what I'm going to do when I raid. And we're going to set it up for you guys to see what I'm thinking. Might possibly work as a little bit better, which means this doesn't have a lot of cargo, because I'm not expected to be taking a bunch of cargo other than, this thing's got 60,000. This ship, I believe, is only somewhere around 10. There we go. He is the SE Raider. We'll bring him up here and give you an idea about his stats. About 500,000 for shields right now, and about 500,000 for hull. Not something that I'm going to be terribly worried about. This has no armor. I'm kind of building it more along the lines for speed, with a 29.2 sector range, and I don't have any systems on here. We're gonna install, and then cargo area of 1,000 or 10,412 with crew quarters for 3,240. Now the crew quarters, I've added 500 boarders. I have hangar space on here, so I'm going to add a couple shuttles, that kind of stuff. And I've doubled my crew. The reason why I doubled my crew for the most part is in case I decide to take the freighter. So if I take a freighter, I board it, take all the material off it, and if I want to keep the freighter, I at least have something that I have the ability to crew it with. So that's why you see a little bit extra, a little bit more, double the crew actually, honestly, to a certain degree. So I have the ability, if I want to drop that off. Well, obviously not with sergeants and lieutenants and stuff, but for engineers and mechanics, be able to get some crew on there, and of course my 500 boarders. Same way with, I'm not terribly worried about this isn't a combat ship. That's why it's not built with armor, nothing like that. It doesn't have real big shields on the rebuild hull, but however, it is rather quick, and it has pretty decent maneuverability. So what we're going to do is set it up, at least what I think is going to work better for this rating part of it. We're going to go with the jump range, 90% cooldown. This is an artifact, one that you can harvest rather quick here. And we're going to actually go into the Vault of Wonders, which is this over here. This is the stuff I use. This is my high-end junk. This stuff over here is just average Alliance stuff. This is the actual Alliance Vault. This stuff is things I've typically I keep anything that's got over 1,000 damage on this side over here, and of course all my systems as well, purple systems, the high-end systems. And what we're going to want is we're going to want a transporter software. We're also going to want some more of this artifact stuff here. So we are looking for. There we go. We want that one, which is a pretty special one, 30% generated engine, or energy, armed turret slots. This is one that you get from the blowing up one of the bosses, but we're going to put that on there as well. We're going to put on armed turret slots as well with 10, and we're going to look for not the radar, the scanner upgrades. The scanner is going to give you the ability not to get up next to the. It extends the range which you can identify what's on the ship, right? So we're not going to use purple stuff for that. We're going to use some of this red stuff here, which is going to be, we're going to use the transporter software, because we're going to need that for, oh wait, no, I'm not going to need that for, I'm going to have crew shuttles. I won't need that. So never mind about that. We are going to put some extra for the shield durability, and of course the scanner. So 138%. We need to get that out as far as we can. There's 161%. We're going to need that. And of course we're going to probably need a few more slots for armed turrets, because we can't bull in there with a big, huge Omicron rating. We want some. We're going to have to pick our weapons relatively reasonable, right? Otherwise, and of course we really want velocity and acceleration. Because this ship does not have armor. It's not going to be built to be set up in a fight. So I want to make it relatively quick. So let's go to our here. We're going to drop in our armed turret slots. We'll install that one. We'll drop into the other legendary one up there. We're also going to drop in our deep space scanner, which is going to extend the range out 320 some percent. And of course we'll drop in our booster for our shields, which is put us up to 1.2 million for shields. So like I said, I'm not relying on my hull. I'm going to be relying on my shields more than anything. And of course we'll drop in the velocity there and there. And we're going to see what this does here. And we'll drop in, ooh, did I pick that? Yeah, there it is. So we're at 15 right now. Let's jump us up to 22. So that still leaves me 3 slots. This is a 11 slot, essentially pirate ship. I don't know what else you would call it, right? So right now we have a 32 sectors for the reach. Let's take a look at what we got for on the map. What we're looking at should get us up there relatively close to where we want to be here. Yeah, so I'm not really going to rely on this too much because I do have a couple warp points here that I'm going to use. However, to get to that one is right there, so we might have to add an extra one more system for the jump range. We'll add that in there and we'll install that. That should just put us out easily out to there. We have 22 for the armed turret slots. So basically what I got going on here is something that's rather speedy, not well armored, but will be fairly well armed. Armed. Once again, can't speak. We're gonna go back into the Vault of Wonders and find some weapons here. I'm thinking we need something that's relatively will do a little bit of damage, but won't do a bunch. So like this is only a two hole penetration with 1918, so that's not too shabby. And I want mostly turrets, so we're gonna of course have to pick and choose. There's a 6,000, 6 blocks. There's a 3,000. However, we are going to dump one big weapon in there just in case, because actually let's just go on DPS. That way if I do run into anything, I at least have something to fight back with other than these smaller weapons. So we're going to drop one railgun in there. We are going to drop a lightning turret in there, and those railguns are probably a little too big. I think I have a couple 9,000 ones here. 24,000. Like I said, I'm looking for something that's going to be not overdone, because I don't, of course, want to blow the thing up. I want to just damage it enough that I'm able to get my boarding parties on there. So, what is that? Possible 9 blocks. No, those aren't great either. That's 9 blocks, you know. So yeah, that's going to take a nasty chunk out of there too. So let's see if we can roll down here and find a little bit less triple rail guns. Maybe possibly some plasma turrets, 11 range. They're 4 slots each. The problem is that some of these freighters, especially the heavy, the big cargo ones, are going to have in upwards of 1,000,000 HP, so not the best. You're just looking for that right match, right? Something that's going to give you the. There's the Trinium one, 3,000. 6 slots. I'm looking for something with not a whole lot of slots. There's 5 slots, 3 blocks, 22. Let's drop him over there. Maybe we're going to use him. 6 slots. Another railgun. 6 slots. 6 slots. Slots are always, you always got to make sure you work this out so that you don't end up with more gun than you need. So what's so great about those other decent 4 slots. Alright, let's try something there. Let's see what we got. For weapons, at least. So I'm not trying to overdo it, and I'm probably going to have to group these accordingly when I actually start on this. So we're going to put the one big one on here, just in case. He's going to be there for if I run into issues. And these are a little bit bigger. So this is going to be kind of a mixed match of all kinds of stuff. So it's already looking pretty crazy. So we're at 11 of 22. We're going to bring an electric Tesla with us. That's going to take care of the shields. And what else we got left here? I think that's a coaxial. Pretty much what I got here. So we're sitting at a whopping 100,000 for firepower. So we're going to regroup these, so this makes a little bit more sense. We're going to put that one on its own at 4 and 3, and you can group your turrets accordingly. So if once I get stuff knocked down a little bit, I can lay off 3 and 4 because those are the high damage ones. Alright, so there we go. We've got that up and running. I got my 500 boarders on air. We do need a few crew shuttles though. So let's drop over here to the crew shuttles. We're going to create one new squad. I only need 10 of them. Or should be only need 10 of them. Or 12 of them, I'm sorry. So let's roll over here and we're going to pick up, we're going to create some crew shuttles. Yeah, I probably should have put some brakes on this thing. Oh well. Alright. Let's build some fighters, okay? I don't think this is a 200 block. Let's go to my ships. There we go. That's the one I typically use. And this one's going to be a crew shuttle. And the crew shuttle... There we go, crew shuttle. So we're going to make sure we get a pretty decent speed on here. I could care less about the other stuff. So we're going to about 94,000 for crew shuttle. We're going to get 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, we'll just do 9. I kind of screwed up there. Well, yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep, so we got enough there. We got 500 boarders. You know what? Let's do that. Let's build it. Let's get the last little bit here. Doesn't really take a whole lot. Oops. Doesn't really take a whole lot. Probably less than 100 boarders to take most of these ships. Alright, so now we got it filled up. So now we got the boarders, we got the crew, and we're going to go raid this. There's my warp point that I want, or my wormhole, I'm sorry, that'll bring us up to this point here. And we'll start working on going through this whole process of raiding in these hazard zones. Or not causing hazard zones. Because like I said, this is just super hazard zones, especially when you have headhunters that jump into your system constantly, only to have to blow them up. And then you lose production on that system because now you're in a hazard zone. So yeah, super annoying. Oh, got some decent speed out of it too. All that stuff. I should probably check to see how fast I can actually roll with it. So I know for a fact these ones that were still in hazard zones. This one is not. So we're going to jump in there and we're going to do some raiding here with the boarders. Let's just see how fast we got her up to. The record I have for my ship with the best speed is 20,000 meters a second. I'm getting curious what this thing will do. This one's quite a bit smaller than that ship. I'm also interested in how much energy it's taking up too. So, well, about 11,000. And it's not really sucking any energy yet, so that's always nice when you can run as fast as that without energy being the hazard zone. See if this works with this built-up ship here. So we do have some freighters here. Now the easiest way to find out, there's two freighters. So there's no baddies here. I don't have to worry about blowing up some ships and then having them turned into, but we're only going to do one ship at a time. So the easiest way is to, of course, click on him and ask him. He does have cargo. Okay. And we'll check this other one. And they're big. So we always want the heavy cargo haulers. They have the most amount of stuff in them. With this whole hazard zone, this is the only way that you're really going to make some decent. So he doesn't have anything. He doesn't say he doesn't have anything there. So we have that heavy cargo hauler up there. Let's go see what he's got. This is what I did about the scanner upgrade. It's going to allow me to get, I don't have to get right next to him to find out what he's got for, oh, I did check him, right? Yeah. He didn't have anything. So this guy here, though, he did have something. So let's get a little closer here. We're going to turn off... He doesn't have any shields, so we're going to turn off some of that more impressive firepower. So where am I going to be at here? Okay, he's got mining robots. Nice. And he's sitting at 785k for hull. That's what's nice about railguns, is you can kind of pick. You want to blow up his engines so he can't get away. And we're looking at 92. We need to put up the other railgun. There's 88, 84. We don't want to get, like I said, we don't want to get too carried away with destroying. We only get down to 30%. There we go. Now we're going to drop. Borders. Where are my borders? Oh, crap. You're kidding me, right? Oh. Well, just when you're throwing like, yeah, let's show you a pretty sweet-ass video, Zem forgets the fucking pilots. All right. We'll be back. You stay right there. Sorry, guys. You can have a laugh on that one. We're going to pilots. That's ridiculous. And this is what I was talking about, finding wormholes. Makes this a lot easier when you can jump back to your base relatively quickly with a you don't have to quite have that huge. And this shouldn't take too long. Back out of the wormhole. And we're off. You know, I'm gonna have to bear with it, fellas, because I'm not gonna do this again. All right, where is our? I know he's here. Ah, there he is. Isn't that the? No, that's Excalibur. Does he have pilots? Let's see if he's got pilots. Nope, we don't have pilots. All right, where is the Akagi? I think the Akagi's right here somewhere. He was on. That one got pilots. Helga's got pilots. So we'll grab 12 off of her. If I can do this. Oops. A little too far. Alright. Transfer. Where's the pilots at? See, I know. Oh, wait. Once again. Crap. It's got, that's a special one too. That's one of the chips from that you get from the experimental stuff, or the Zotan stuff. So let's roll on this way anyway. We'll get there in a hurry, and we'll pick ourselves back up over to that wormhole, and then we can get back to it. A little bit of a retro burn. Alright, let's pick up our pilots at our academy. I'd be embarrassed, but I'm too old for that shit, so you're just gonna have to bear with it. Alright, come on. Transfer engaged. Pretty sure I'm at the docking clamp here. Yeah. Alright, there we go. Transfer 12 pilots. There we go. Now we're golden. Let's boost out of there. And hopefully we can get back there without him being completely repaired. I don't think he will be. Alright. Wormhole. Engaged. You're not gonna get it, right? Engage. Alright, alright, alright. Let's get back to our system that had the mining guy in it, which was, yeah. So straight ahead. That's, you shouldn't have got anywhere because it blew the engines off. Sometimes that happens, right? Right when you're attacking them, they magically... There's a cargo freighter. Where is he at? He's still at 24.7%. Sweet. And we got... get a little closer here. And what has just showed up? I hate that noise. Okay, subspace. Alright, we need to get this taken care of. Something's coming. Nice thing about it, if it's Zotan or Pirates, it doesn't actually affect the hazard zone. If you follow me. So either and or doesn't really matter. Alright, let's get close enough here. Let's start dropping borders. And we're going to find out exactly how many this takes. He does have some guns up yet, doesn't he? Ooh, should be interesting. I have 500 borders. It's got mining robots. 150 to 200 borders, so this is a big one. I might have to bring up another... I might have to get another set of crew shuttles. I don't normally take ships. I was just thinking the other day, though, how would this work if you have to do this early on? And of course, he's still firing away. Thankfully, they were on the way back. There's another 100 borders, so we should be about enough right now, 120 to 160. Looks like I'm probably going to guess I should carry at least 48 crew shuttles. That makes sure even if I lose some here, because their PDGs are up still on his point defense guns are still running here, so we're still losing a little bit. So, but he should have plenty of. I should still have plenty of borders to take him. These are a lot more dangerous than the stupid. Problem is, I like to shoot them where they're out, but I've already lost 4. However, we should have enough on board here. How about we just return you guys? That should be enough of borders to take the rest of that. Won't have to lose any more of the fighters, I guess. Come on, fellas, get over here. Wow, lost 5. So remember that. Make sure you got enough of these. Like I said, I don't typically take ships either. I just blow them up and take the stolen cargo because they're just not worth the effort. However, being that this is something that you're going to do, mid-game, possibly, maybe even early game if you get the right kind of stuff. All right, and there was the. Oh, apparently it only took 1. That's crazy. Usually it takes 2 ships. So let's get close enough here, get the rest of our raiders off, and of course, pick up what we got left for. Oh yeah, there's all kinds of baddies here. Let's transfer, come on. And of course the cargo, 117. Okay, let's jump into that and build this. What do we want to do here with this? You know what? I'm going to keep the design. Maybe I'll use it later here, and we're going to lose. We're just going to take it off safe mode and get rid of it. I'll get the materials out of it later. Alright, so we got our boarding party. We got 117. And of course, they dropped. Looks to be a freighter in here. Or not a freighter, a bunch of alien warships. And of course they dropped a dreadnought too. Well, of course, why wouldn't they? That one has, well, it does have stuff on it. Is it worth my time? Let's see if we can get the cargo out of them. Or you can do this option too, where you could just simply, oops, did I, nope, he got away. Crap. How about what if you got something? Nope, he's got nothing on him. So, apparently when you're boarding, you only takes one. Usually it takes at least to blow up 2 ships before you make any headway on this deal. And what do you have? Let's see if we can get all of his cargo out of him. Ooh, he's got a lot on there, though. Maybe worth it. It's already into hazard zone, so at this point you might as well just cut your losses and get what you can get out of here. Let's turn on the big guns, too, just in case I have to deal with one of these guys. There we go. Alright, let's look for... Turn our cargo hold on to pick up stolen cargo. Let's see if we can pick this up here. Like I said, it just got dropped into hazard zone, so there's not really point in being sneaky anymore about this. And he's apparently knocked out enough a chunk out of him that I could board him if I wanted to. And unfortunately, it's going to take a little while for this to just blow up some stuff over here. Since they're stolen goods, it takes you a little while before you're allowed to pick them up, which isn't a big deal because nobody's attacking me right now. There's another heavy cargo hauler. What's he got? Nothing. Let's see if we can pick these up. Pirates are attacking the sector. And we're going to go try another sector. Now, unfortunately, since that didn't work out, you're going to have to be kind of jumping around to make this work. I think you might be able to get 1 or 2 ships per sector as long as you're not in the hazard zone, which is going to kind of suck. So you're going to kind of have to essentially, you know, change it up. You're not going to be able to raid sector. You're going to have to jump from here to there to there to there. Come on. Nobody's shooting at me, so I'm just going to sit here and take advantage of it. I guess I probably could even have tried to board this one, but, you know, after taking out that many, yeah, I lost 7 shuttles to that point defenses on that, point defenses of that cargo ship. Might have to increase the durability on those to take ships. Doesn't seem to really matter. I don't think I have any of that stuff on my ship that I raid stations with, but apparently the cargo ships are going to be a little more interesting. And I said I don't usually raid cargo ships, so it looks to be about 50 to 150 boarders to take 1 cargo ship. How many did I actually lose? Ooh. I wonder how many I lost to the blowing up of the cargo. So I lost almost 200 in that fight. But this looks pretty good for at least cargo-wise. Mining robots are at 145,000 apiece, so that's not too bad. And whatever is going to be here in this stuff. Zinc. Sat around waiting for that. Nothing but zinc. Isn't that how that works out, right? Alright, let's get out of here. Don't hit any asteroids. And we're going to dump the zinc, because that's just not worth it. Let's jump to this next sector and see if we can pull off another heist. It used to be exceptionally long time here, right? Alright, so does this system have anything in it worth? Is there any cargo ships? So I cleaned this system a while ago, and I've yet to see any NPCs jump in here. I don't know why. Unless it's still under... Unless it's possibly still under... We'll try this one too. Still under hazard zones. The hazard zones are less, like I said, without really knowing exactly how long they are, it's kind of one of those, right? Since I'm at it anyway, I wonder, a lot of times I'm just, you know, and then I'm good, and then I don't play. So what do we got going on here? Nope, they're all here. So this is attacked by a different faction, so that kind of pretty much locks this system down into a pile of crap. These guys are fighting with another faction, so there's absolutely no cargo ships. Yep, there they go. Now they're going to get into a fight, pretty much lock this faction, or lock this system out. This is the other problem with, of course, the fighting. You just can't get into it. So is there a military outpost here for these guys? Something that's high end. No, we'll jump over there. Let's see if we can pick up another freighter here just for shits and giggles. Sorry fellas, I'm out. Alright, let's jump over there and see if we can pick up one more freighter. Now you actually have to work at it, which you shouldn't have to work at it, right? Alright, so we got one heavy cargo hauler. Let's find out what he's got on board. And of course I have a, looks to be one, there's the music. Let's see if he's got anything that's good on him. Nope, he's empty. So, not worth the time and effort. And nothing else in system. So, yeah, rating's pretty much dead. So with that said, guys, thanks for watching. If you got any questions down below, give me a shout out.